Hey guys, Civilord here, back in with another action figure review, and today is a good day, because today we're going to be kicking off my looks at the GWAR action figures, starting off with Blothar, the Berserker, the current vocalist for the band, brought to us by the fine folks over at Trick or Treat Studios. First time they've been on the channel. I know they've made some figures in the scale in the past. They make some movie Maniacs type stuff, or is it NECA Cult Classics, something like that. But this is the first time I've bought any of their stuff, and I have to say, from a quality standpoint, I think it's alright. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. It's pretty freaking decent for what you're getting. So, with that being said, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review. Take a look-see at all the Berserker has to offer in terms of accessories, starting off with this thward, which is like a bone hilt. Probably give this to a Mythic Legions figure, none would be the wiser. He comes with a sword, as well as this big shield here, with this crazy demon skull alien monster face on it. Because GWAR are aliens, they're not like demons or anything, although this guy looks a lot more like some demonic creature than some of the other guys in the band. But that's all you get. You don't get a microphone, although we'll talk about it in Jizmac the Gush's video. Yes, that's his name. But that's probably for the best, because their grip hands are good for the weapons and for the guitars, not so much for slim, small accessories like that. Taking a closer look at Blothar. One thing you'll notice, he is a little pre-posed, which, not my cup of tea. I would rather he just have straight up and down legs, to be honest with you. It'd be way easier to stand. Can't imagine this has to be fun to walk around in, but hopefully they've figured something out so it's at least somewhat comfortable to perform in these suits. Because GWAR have been at this since, what, like 85 or something? They've been around for a hot minute. But at any rate, as far as articulation goes on this guy, his head will rotate side to side. And before you ask, yes, he does have an udder made out of penises. Hopefully I don't get flagged for this. His arms will move up and down. No in and out or anything. You get a little bit, but that's probably just because of wiggle room. He does have swivel wrists, as well as ball-socketed hips. So you can kick out, back down, forward and back a little bit. They are T-jointed. And then you do get some swivel in there. Which, yeah, it looks like it is just a ball joint. So, lots of good hip movement. Would have been nice to get some ball pegs like that in the arms, and it would have been nice to get something in the feet maybe, because I'm not a fan of the walking pose. I've never cared for that. You know, that's why I'm not a big turtle guy, which, not for nothing, these guys are pretty much built like vintage turtles in that aspect, which on one hand kind of makes sense. On the other hand, I wish they just kind of, I don't know, I would have taken straight swivel hips with flat feet, to be honest with you. But they do have peg holes, so if you have a stand, you can figure something out there. He does have some real fur around his collar, though. He's got some deer antlers on his back. That's pretty cool. But, yeah, that is Blothar the Berserker. He is, like I said, pretty cool. He's pretty chunky, too. He weighs quite a bit for such a small little figure, but he is the first one we are taking a look at. Don't worry, I do have all of them, because when are we going to get an opportunity like that again? So with that being said, why don't we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is good old Blothar the Berserker, alongside a couple other members of GWAR. We have Beefcake the Mighty and Ballsack the Jaws of Death, complete with Ballsack and Spring-Loaded Jaw. An awesome weave, might I add. So that is pretty cool. But as you can see, Blothar is a pretty hefty figure compared to the two of them, which makes sense. He is the Berserker after all. Beefcake also seeming a bit larger than some of the other characters, but yeah, I think they scale well together. I mean, it's kind of hard to get an idea of the scale because of the pre-post nature of these figures, but Beefcake is standing up relatively straight, same with Ballsack, and even Blothar to an extent. I mean, he is kind of hunched forward a bit, but the scale seems fine. And not for nothing, these are just dudes in suits, so they're not supposed to have like crazy superhero proportions, but proportionally, they seem alright in that aspect too. So, getting these two out of the way. So we can bring in our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibilith. Right there. And the infamous 11 Spawn, who as usual towers over everyone because he's not a 5-inch scale figure. So with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and I'm going to get this out of the way right now, aside from being built like vintage Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figures, these GWAR figures are really freaking cool. And I say that the whole vintage Turtles thing is a gripe because the fine folks over at Trick or Treat Studios put them in these gosh darn walk-in poses, which on some of them doesn't affect them very much, if at all. But on characters like this guy and Ballsack, the Jaws of Death, in particular, yeah, they're going to have a little trouble standing. But it is doable. It's not impossible. It just would have been easier if that wasn't the case. But at the end of the day, we're in for a treat, people, because we kick things off with a giant, raging, alien minotaur-looking guy with an udder made of penises. So it can only go up from here. Get it? Going up. Penises. Ha-ha! So that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.